Thank you again for joining me. I'm Pat Kiernan. This is Pat's Papers. We do this every weekday morning, going through the nation's newspapers to find some of the highlights for you. Here's some of what we found for you today. For papers that hadn't already hit the presses, the obvious choice for a front-page photo was the fiery image from the plane crash near Buffalo. It is, of course, the lead story in the Buffalo News. Late last night, Continental Airlines Flight 3407 was headed from Newark, New Jersey to Buffalo. It crashed into a house in Clarence, New York. All 49 people on the plane dead, one person killed on the ground. There are similar photos in dozens of papers on the front page, among them the Oregonian in Portland and the Louisville Courier-Journal in Kentucky. The crash is on the front page of the New York Daily News and all of the New York City papers. Newark's airport is one of the three main airports for the New York City area. The Post's page one headline is Jet Crash. A lot of the papers went to press with information that 48 people were on the plane. There was an off-duty crew member who was later counted to make it 49. In the New York Times, the local emergency coordinator is quoted. He says, "It is remarkable. The plane only took out one house. It could have taken the whole neighborhood." It was too late to make the paper, but the Hartford Courant got word that one of the people on the plane was Beverly Eckert of Connecticut. Her husband worked on the 105th floor of the World Trade Center and was killed on September 11th. On to other news. Just hours before Valentine's Day, former soon-to-be Commerce Secretary Judd Gregg had a change of heart. The Manchester Union leader reports the New Hampshire senator withdrew his name from consideration, citing irresolvable conflicts with the president over the stimulus bill. The Washington Post notes murky communication between Gregg and the White House. Gregg says he made a mistake in the first place in accepting the position. Papers have been jammed with news regarding the logistics of the stimulus bill. Robert Gavin and Aaron Allworth of the Boston Globe present a straightforward breakdown today of what the bill might mean to you. The paper says there is something for everyone in the stimulus package. President Obama was in Illinois for Lincoln's birthday. The State Journal-Register of Springfield got an exclusive interview. The president says Illinois is ready to move forward from the Rod Blagojevich scandal. News about the November Mumbai attacks in the New York Times. After long denying the attacks had any origins in Pakistan, the country's government has officially admitted some part of the conspiracy took place in Pakistan. That admission some relief for U.S. efforts to limit conflict between India and Pakistan. Ardmore, Oklahoma residents begin to cope with the damage done to their town after it was rocked by a tornado on Tuesday. The story in the Oklahoman says dozens of Ardmore homes and schools were destroyed or damaged by the violent storm. One grieving local says the town is left with nothing but firewood. A federal court has ruled there is no link between vaccinations and autism. The Washington Post reports families with autistic children thought to have the disorder due to faulty vaccinations are not entitled to compensation. The story says the ruling delivers a major blow to an international movement that has tried for years to link childhood immunizations with autism. The common cold could eventually be a nuisance of the past. The story in many newspapers this morning, the New York Times article, says researchers have decoded the genomes of the 99 strains of the common cold virus and developed a catalog for its vulnerabilities. The version of the story in the Florida Sun-Sentinel says scientists admit that even with this information, it may be difficult to develop one cure-all drug. The Marlboro Man seems to be doing a good job of recruiting Marlboro boys and girls. According to a survey in USA Today's Money section, 52% of high school and 43% of middle school students who smoke say Marlboro is their preferred brand of cigarette. Not particularly surprising, since Marlboro is also the leader among American adults. And there is an interesting study in the Richmond Times-Dispatch that says Neanderthals are not our ancestors. Researchers concluded Neanderthals are indeed human, but not close enough to be considered Homo sapiens. The DNA in our branch of the human family and theirs has been separate for over 600,000 years. And that's our report for today. I'm Pat Kiernan. Thanks for being with us today. We do this every weekday, and you can always go to patspapers.com where you will find the rundown of the stories we featured today and links you can click on to get to the individual newspapers where those stories were published.